Welcome to WinSouls TV. This is your host, Jeff Thomas, and we have been on a spiritual warfare playlist lately because that's where the Lord was directing me. But today we have a message about goals. So a lot of us set specific goals in our life based off of the things that we want to do. But the only problem that goals bring is either you accomplish it or you don't. It's holding off on the gratification of achieving something until you accomplish that goal, and that is a huge problem. Now let's transition that to God. Now concerning God, a lot of us make it a specific goal to be able to do the spiritual things that He has called for us to do. We'll sit there and then we'll magnify and really pay a lot of attention to the miraculous things that God does, right? And the miraculous things that we can do through as Christians. But we don't glorify the relationship. We don't put the relationship where it should be. We don't put the relationship on a pedestal to where it is the thing that is of the utmost importance, versus seeing in the spirit as the utmost importance, or delivering specific people as the utmost importance, or spiritual warfare, or just being known or having fame as a minister, or this, that, and the other. Let's be clear here. The goal is not to see in the spirit. The goal is to have a deep relationship with God that is conducive to that is so powerful to the point where the spiritual things of God will manifest themselves before you, regardless of anything that is happening in your life. The goal is not to be a well-known minister or a well-known pastor. The goal is to be obedient to God, taking those steps of faith and allowing His message to pass through your bodily vessel so that His voice and His power and all of those specific things may be known through your tongue. You have no identity outside of God. Okay? The goal is not to be able to lay hands on specific people and all of them are healed, or all of them are delivered, or this, that, and the other. The goal is to have, once again, a functioning, powerful relationship with God daily, so that we are growing in the fullness and stature of Christ. It has nothing to do with those specific things. Now, those things, yes, those things will happen naturally if you begin to take those steps of faith, this, that, and the other. But I was watching in a YouTube video, and this pastor really spelled it out. And he was basically saying that if you begin to move out of those gifts, if you begin to move out of that faith and that relationship, that structure, that foundation with God is not there, that gift can destroy you and your identity in Christ, simply because you begin to only seek God out of the things that you can get from Him. Now, I have made videos of this in the past, but point blank and simple, when we begin to make it our goal only to have broad and wide and visible manifestations in front of people, we are now putting on a performance rather than just carrying on the things that the Lord would have us do in a humble nature. You see, that involves a lot of self. Now, there are specific things that will happen. Yeah, we will heal the sick. We will raise the dead. We will cast out demons. We will be moving out of that power. But when you are disconnected from that relationship with Him, then, and you are making other things your goal, then it is all about you at that point. It's all about you and making specific things happen off of the authority that the Lord has already given you. Okay, so the goal has never been to exalt yourself. The goal has always been to exalt our Father in heaven. So please take that with you, and the specific things that we continue to do help to affirm our identity even more. So when we begin to read the word, and sadly, a lot of us as Christians don't even read the word. We don't even read the word, sadly. But when we begin to read the word and we continue to do it on a steady basis, then we begin to realize who we are. Simply put, not just by understanding who God is. Yes, that's extremely important, and you do understand who you are by reading the word and understanding who he is. But developing that system of constantly moving toward God daily is the thing that affirms your identity, is the thing that is secondary to what he's told us, yes, but is the thing that continues to affirm our identity. Because taking that system and continuously doing it over and over and over and over and over again, you are affirming that you are a believer in Christ. You are affirming that you are a minister in Christ. So a perfect example is, we do not rise to the state of our goals. We fall to the state of our systems. Now, I read that in a book, but it is completely applicable here. We begin to step away from God based off of our system, based off of not reading the word, based off of not praying, based off of not seeking him. Then we become more susceptible to the things of the world. Another simple example. Well, guess what? We have a great system in place, and we continue to clean our house day in and day out, for an hour every day. Well, when somebody comes in, they identify us as somebody that's clean. Okay. We work out day in, day out for an hour every single day. And we eat properly. We begin to be identified as a person that is health conscious, that cares about their health, that is possibly an athlete, that desires a healthy lifestyle. Continue reading the word day in and day out, an hour every day. Okay, we learn through the word that, okay, the Lord wants us to go out and minister. So we begin to minister to these people. Okay, how is that viewed? It is viewed as someone who loves and cares about the state of this world and these people and other Christians, to 1, minister to people, 2, share the love of Christ, and then 3, takes bold steps of faith to do the things that aren't popular in this world, because most Christians do not actually do the word. Sadly, we're in a state of just loving the church or the church building. Okay? So developing a system that is centered around developing a relationship with God is the thing that we are after, and we will be known as the individual in the word that the Lord has placed the identity on us as, by continuing to follow the system. And that system, when put in place, is simply put, reading the word. So don't necessarily develop goals that you can fall by, but develop systems in place that can shape your identity from not only this point now, but for the future and the rest of your life. And when other people see it, you will be identified as the very individual that the Lord has told you you are in the word. Oh man, he taking off. You guys be blessed. Have a good one.